all the shapes that you draw inside Corel are comprised of shape nodes, and these shape nodes are completely editable, so you can completely and totally manipulate and adjust and mess around with your shapes. Your shapes are completely malleable. So let me show you how this is going to work here. I'm going to start off with a square here, or a rectangular shape would do just fine if that's what you have on your screen. Go ahead and select that guy, and then what I'd like you to do is head up to the top left of your screen into your toolbox and grab this guy right here, your shape tool. Now he just has what look like resize handles in the corners, but check this out. Try dragging on these little nodes here, and this is what winds up happening. So this is another way to create rounded corners on your objects, which is pretty darn cool. Now, you saw this earlier when we had our objects selected and we used these settings up here on the properties bar, the roundness settings. I'm sure you remember that. So it's just another way to work, right? So you can certainly make use of that if you want. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag mine all the way back to where I started. So now I have a perfect square there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to my pick tool, because what I want to do is I want to take this object and I want to break it down. And Corel calls this converting it to curves. Imagine like breaking down to its fundamental state, right? So here's what we'll do. Make sure the shape is selected there, of course. Head up to the Arrange menu, and then down towards the bottom of the Arrange menu, you'll find a command there called Convert to Curves, or there's your keyboard shortcut, Control-Q, to convert this guy to curves. Now that this fella is converted to curves, I mean, he kind of looks the same at this point, but check this out. I'm going to go back to the Shape tool inside the toolbox, go ahead and grab him, and now what I can do is I can grab these little corner nodes here, and I can start dragging them around, something like this, right? This is what I meant about your shapes being completely and totally malleable and adjustable and transformable and all that good stuff, right? So every time the line changes direction, I get one of these little dots, which is called a node, right? And I can drag on the edge or I can drag on the node to create all kinds of weird, wacky special effects and weird, wacky shapes. Now, the important thing to know is that the only way that this is possible is if you take your shape and convert it to curves first. I can't grab my pick tool, for example, and select a shape and then go and grab the shape tool and start dragging on these nodes, because that's going to give me this effect, right? That's no good at all. I have to take the shape, make sure he's selected there, then go Arrange, and then down to Convert to Curves, and then go nuts with them with the shape tool selected inside the toolbox. I hope that works for you. Now, I want to show you something else here. What I'll do, I think I'll zoom in just a little bit. Maybe I'll crank it all the way up to about 400% there. And it's my circle that I want to sort of draw your attention to. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'll actually pull him away from the rest of the shape so I can show you this in a sort of a more straightforward fashion. Okay, something like this I think is great, because working with circles is going to be a little bit different. There's something really wacky and weird that I want to show you here. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to save working with circles for the next lesson. So I'll catch up with you in just a moment.
To change up.